Hello everyone, it's me Jenny, and it's time for commentary! Woo! I respond to your comments and then I verbally respond to your comments because, you know, I like to keep the conversation going, make it more of a conversation and less of a typey. And yeah, the reason why I film on my web camera, for those of you who haven't seen these videos, is because I like to talk and I talk quite a lot, and it just carries on, and I've got a lot of comments to go through, so I film on low definition with slightly crappier audio, and that way I can just talk and ramble and all those things, and it doesn't take days and weeks and months to upload. Usually I film upstairs. I can't be bothered to move off this chair. I got home from work, I did some loganberry picking. I've just replied to your comments, and so I'm going to talk about them. So this comment commentary, I've done a lot of videos without doing comment commentary in between, so this comment commentary specifically is going to be for the ones pre-going to Spain, and then I'll do another one for post-going to Spain, and then I'll do another one once the videos that are currently uploaded are all publicised and have been on the internet for about a week. And then after that, hopefully I'll get back into the rhythm of things. I don't know. But in the meantime, I know I'm very behind with my videos. I'm not actually sure how many videos behind I am, but I'm working on it. Anywho, so starting from before I went to Spain, the last video that I didn't respond to on comments was the something catch up. Well, it's a video face. And KSJ said, well, this is a comment. Yes, it is. And Nathan Lyle says, and yet it happened. Yes, it did happen. I made a video which was, I caught up, and it's a video. It's a video. It's a video. It's a video. It was a video of some kind. It's weird because it's been a long time since I filmed and uploaded those videos, and I didn't rewatch them. So sometimes I'm reading the comments and I'm like, I have no idea of the context of that. I'm sure it's something to do with the video, but I haven't rewatched it. Right on the same train of thought, on the something Wednesday post D&D night chat, Red Sky Blackbird said mushroom Jenny, and I have no idea what the context was, and I didn't rewatch the video. So yeah, I'm sure it's something very incredibly funny and witty, and something that I said probably, I don't know. I'm tired and I didn't want to rewatch all my videos because it turns out I've made a lot of videos. Nathan Lyle on that same video says, welcome to my world, it's a very relaxing place, kick off your shoes and flop down on a recliner with a cold soda and a bag of gummy worms. Well, that's one way to relax. I don't particularly like gummy sweets that much. I don't mind chewy sweets. I don't mind hard sweets, and I don't mind chocolates, but there's something about gummy sweets that always, like, sometimes I like them, most of the time I'm like, I'd rather not. But it sounds like a very, very good way of relaxing in general. The whole kicking off your shoes and just chilling and eating junk food. It's a good way to go. Moving on to my naked truth on... Oh, no, that's the wrong video. There's an unintentional tab there. I need to organise my tabs slightly better. But it was naked truth on why would you ask that? So let's see. Raymond Smith said that he used to work with a lot of Russians who would ask him why he didn't have a girlfriend. And he was like, for one, you've only known me for 30 seconds, and for two, you can't just find one. They don't grow on trees. I assume I haven't really personally searched for a girlfriend, but I know that significant others of whatever type of contextual relationship you're going for don't necessarily grow on trees, whether you're going for something more intimate or just intimacy or something more committed. They don't grow on trees. They're harder to find than you think. And when someone is like, why don't you have a girlfriend? You're like, I don't have a girlfriend because I don't. I can say that because I'm, you know, not looking, but there we go. As for questions that he gets asked, he doesn't really get any embarrassing questions, but he is annoyed consistently because there's apparently a stereotype in America, which I didn't know about until this comment. Apparently there's a stereotype in America that cooks sell weed. I didn't know that. Anyone who lives in America, feel free to confirm this stereotype for me. Is there a stereotype that chefs and cooks sell weed? Because apparently it's a thing, and apparently all the time people are saying, oh, they just need a little, or it's just for me and my cousin, and trying to persuade him to sell weed that he doesn't have because he doesn't sell weed even though he's a chef. So yeah, I can imagine that being an incredibly frustrating question that you're always asked, like, why would you ask that? I know why, but it's frustrating. Yeah, so there we go. And apparently the bartender always passes these prospective patrons onto him, regardless of the fact that he doesn't sell weed. And yeah, so I can imagine that being very frustrating. Torcy says he's never had a dream job. However, he got a job that surrounded him. Sorry, Torcy, I should know your gender by now. I talk to you all the time. Says that they managed to get a job with good people, and so they were happy to turn up, which is brilliant. He's met he, she, it, they. Sorry, Torcy, I'm so sorry. Please, if you feel confident stating your gender down in the description, please. Oh no, down in the comments. I would like to get the right pronoun for whichever pronoun you appreciate, or I'll try and stick to a gender neutral one. But I'm sorry, I really feel like I should know it by now. My bad. They have met some driven people, and think they need to be sedated. Yeah, sometimes that is the case. Most of the time I can respect driven people, but sometimes they are terrifying. And they're very rarely well-rounded people. Couldn't find their way out of a paper bag, but know everything in geology. Well, it depends on what type of driven they are. There's some people who are driven to do everything, and there's some people who are driven down one line. And often the ones who are driven to do everything, like they have to do a sport, and they have to do a creative thing, and they have to do their work, and they have to do life, and they're very well-rounded, but they don't really have like they don't have room to breathe. So there's that type of driven people, but there are people who are very driven down one path and they really can't tell you anything except what they're focusing on that one section, which is something that I'm jealous of, but it's also something that I can see as an issue. Obi says he had almost the exact same situation. The average person doesn't understand that it takes strength of mind and soul to be alone, and some of us are happy being alone, and people need some average people need someone else to feel whole, and sometimes you just have to tell people to back off, and when it's time, it's time. Yeah, people are people. I say that quite a lot. Everyone works at their own pace, and some people want certain things that other people really don't want, and some people don't want things that everyone else thinks they want. And that's kind of just a go-to thing for life. Moving on to my commentary, A Return to Form. This is the one where I rambled on for I think about 20 minutes listing through the films I haven't seen that I reviewed for the first time, having not seen them, including some truly appalling ones that people have berated me for being over the age of 20 and having never seen that. Fortunately, Raymond Smith has reviewed 288 movies, and well over 200 of them were his first time, so that's good. And he was one who did Movie Club Strikes Back and suggested A Bronx Tale, which I really enjoyed. It was a very coming of age film. It was set over like 3 decades or something. I can remember enjoying it. Nathan Lyle says, wait a minute, you've seen Toy Story, right? And A Bug's Life. I've seen both of those. He also he did a lot of listing. Tell me you've seen Balto, or at least Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I've seen Willy Wonka. I think I might have seen Balto. Is that the one about the dog that crosses, like he's a half-breed dog wolf thing, and he travels across somewhere to rescue something? It's a long time ago. However, I think I might have seen Fox and the Hound, but don't quote me on that. I think I might have just watched the trailer. I have seen I haven't seen Stripes, I haven't seen Mystery Man, I haven't seen K-Pax, I haven't seen Anastasia, I haven't seen American Tail, I haven't seen A Troll in Central Park. I have seen The Black Cauldron, I haven't seen Sister Act, I haven't seen The Sandlot, I have no idea what that is. I haven't seen The Big Green, never heard of it. I have heard of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I've never seen it. CB4, no idea. Small Soldiers, I think I watched a clip of it and it terrified me as a kid. Rush Hour, no idea. Deep Rising, haven't seen it. Deep Blue Sea, nope. No context at all. The Amazing Panda Adventure? Nope, completely over my head. Never seen it, never heard of it. Flipper I have heard of, but I've never seen. Lassie, of course, I've heard of it, but I haven't actually seen it. Casper terrified me. I never could watch the movie because it scared me too much as a kid. Oliver and Company, I'm pretty sure I watched, but I can't really remember. But in context, Nathan Lyle says, now that he thinks about it, maybe he watched too many movies as a kid, and should have gone outside to make friends or some shit like that. And stop calling me crazy and perfectly insane. My imaginary friends can vouch for me. They are swimming in a pool full of mustard. Well, good job in getting me to say all that out loud. That's a good job. Baxon says Matthew Broderick's Godzilla and Inspector Gadget are unforgivable. I haven't seen Matthew Broderick's Godzilla. I've heard that it's awful. I really liked Inspector Gadget as a kid. It took me a lot of persuasion to watch it, but after I watched it a lot as a kid. I can remember refusing, ironically, refusing to watch Back to the Future on TV because I was too scared of Back to the Future, and instead watching Inspector Gadget. I might have talked about it in last week's in whatever commentary 4 weeks ago. Commentary, I might have said that anecdote. But yeah, that was me refusing to go to see the second Lord of the Rings film because the first one scared me so much. So I went to a family friend's and they wanted to watch Back to the Future, and I wanted to watch Inspector Gadget. And to this day, oh, am I going to say this actually on video? To this day, I still haven't seen Back to the Future. Mic drop. And then walk away. Baxon says, and I completely agree, Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie, it's still one of the worst movies ever. The muscle in his brain barely managed to get through Tim and Eric. Yeah, that's good. It's not been dethroned yet. Raymond Smith also agrees. He refused to watch. He read his book for a review. KSJ says, ooh, future Jenny has time travel. I'm so jealous. Don't list too much or you might capsize. Sorry, I got lost. Did I mention the film Clue? I always thought Colonel Mustard did it. Yeah, Colonel Mustard, he kind of seemed like he would do it anyway because he had the monocle. I haven't seen Clue the film, and obviously in the UK it's called Cluedo. Cluedo is the game. And yeah, I enjoyed the game. I suck at playing it. I don't know why. I think there's a mathematical thing that you have to do that I never was taught, so I just kind of went with the, I think there's a way to do it kind of like when you're playing a Sudoku where you like opt out options by what you can see across the board. Like there's ways of doing it, like by listening to what other people are saying on their cards, you can work out what they have and haven't got. But I never worked out how to do that. I literally would just do like power of denomination. I'd be like, well, it's not that one, it's not that one. Good. It's not that one, it's not that one. Good. Well, actually, you're meant to listen to other players and work out what they haven't got by what they're asking for. And then they're meant to trick you by asking for things that they have got and kind of like working that backwards. So yeah, it's a mess. I never worked out how to get that game. I think maybe I should replay as an adult, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get 5 people to sit around a table and play Cluedo with me. Anyway, that's the end of that video. I wonder how long this video is. I've been talking quite fast. It's probably not too long. Only 13 minutes. Bloody hell, I'm working at a pace. My D&D show thing, episode 8. Tours times. Lovely tour. Said seeing me being so excited for my game made her super happy. And she finally found a real life D&D group. Woo! Squee! So yeah, we need to online chat at some point and talk about D&D and catch up on lives and things because I miss you. And I miss, I feel like we have lots to talk about and D&D is so fun. KSJ says, did you explain why my character was absent for 20 minutes? Was she locked in an outhouse or something? I'd informed my DM in advance that I wouldn't be there on time, so I said that my character at that point in the game she was terrified of the concept of destiny and having defeated a dragon. She was kind of terrified that Destiny was following her around, so in order to kind of hide from that feeling, she went out in the woods with her panther to do some hunting and not be around people who might pressure her into doing, Destiny things. So she ran off into the wood with her panther to go hunting. So that's what she was doing for 20 minutes while I think that was the week when my team was taking on a mimic. I think. Don't quote me on that. Daxon says, so you have a Princess Jasmine in your midst. I think that's in reference to the fact that my character had a panther. And he says that high-level characters are an interesting thing as well. It makes it a bit more challenging, not just from a power standpoint, but also from a storytelling standpoint. Low-level character stories are easier to manage. Oh, yes. When you have high-level characters, there's so many spells to concentrate on and so many stats and ups and downs and all these different perks and unperks you have to focus on. By the time you've got through combat, it's like, oh my god. It's the same thing I was saying about, I think I mentioned it maybe in that video or another D&D video, is that when you get to high enough level characters, they're taking on these epic level bosses, and everyone has 1,000 hit points, and everyone has these spells that could take down 50 hit points, which would be amazing if they didn't all have such high levels. So even with these incredibly epic powerful spells, it still chips away and takes a long time. So yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen with high level characters, but smaller characters and lower level characters are much easier to organize. KSJ, oh, one sec, next video. Twitter had a truth response on friends with fans query. That's my one of the in-jokes for my holiday in Spain was when I was writing my packing list, I would do sunglasses question marks. There'd be sunglasses query. So that was an in-joke for the holiday where it'd be like, are we going for coffee query? So yeah. Friends with fans? Query? I don't know what's going on in my brain. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I've been at work for 10 hours straight, and then I got home and I picked loganberries, and here I am. So it's been a long, long day. But I'm going to keep the energy up for the last 4 videos of my commentary, and then I can go to bed feeling good and stuff. And sleep. KSJ says, it's a good analogy I gave, but he would add that it's more like a college class. So this is an analogy I came up with where it's being a kind of a YouTube person or a content creator is kind of like when you're in school and you're new to a class and everyone can immediately learn your name, but you can look at a class and all you see is a mass of people and you don't know their names. And he adds to that analogy, it's more like a college class where people may choose to show up or not, or do their homework, aka leave comments, and the enrollment is ever changing and the class is never ending. And you don't always want to know what the next class will be. Some of us prefer to be in the front row and respond to the teacher, and others not so much. Sensei, notice me, Sensei. Well said. It's a good way of building up on that analogy. Maybe at some point I shall do a full breakdown of that analogy, but well said. Girl of the Book says, it's weird that she didn't think that SourceFed had that kind of overexcited fans. I mentioned that there was a couple of severely overexcited fans at VidCon last year. And it was fascinating to hear that they do, since they seem to have such a laid-back community. As I said, 99.9% of the SourceFed community and the SourceFed fans, for lack of a better term, they're all very chill, and a lot of YouTube celebrityism is very, very chill, unless you're dealing with very young members of that community who tend to kind of hype up that sense of reality. And I was surprised that actually the particularly hysterical fans at VidCon for SourceFed weren't as young as they could be, as I would normally expect for the kind of hysteria. But as I said, 99.9% of the SourceFed fans and the DeFranco fans were very, very chill people. Like, you turn up, you smile, you shake hands, you relax. But there we go. And she agrees with my views on friendships online. They're maybe not as good as IRL friendships, but you can still justify them as real friendships. And there is almost like talking through glass when it comes to online relationships. Like, you're so close to having real contact in that sort of friendship relationship type way, but it does always have like a level of separation, which it's sometimes hard to kind of compartmentalize, and it's going to be weird seeing how that level of social interaction develops over the next 10-15 years. I think it's becoming pretty normalized in terms of the concept that you can have online relationships, but I think there's a way that your brain handles it that's very interesting. Like, I can remember my grandparents not being able to stomach the concept of Skype. We tried to do Skype with them, and they couldn't get the hang of it. They really, like, some of the older generation get it, but my grandparents they found it really, really very disconcerting. So I can see that being kind of something that I'd be interested to see where communication is in 10-15 years. Anyway, moving away from that ramble. Let's have a look. Holiday hype. Sunburn in the shade. I burnt in the shade. It was depressing. Obi says he's got the same thing. Half his family redheads, so they have the same problem with burning 20-30 minutes, and it's all just burnt. He did a landscaping project last year and got poisoned sumac in his sunburn. Ooh, at least he survived. Yeah, that sounds awful. I've been severely burnt a couple of times in my life, probably once or twice badly enough that I should have maybe gone to a doctor or a hospital. Most of the time I'm getting, I'm not too bad, and I'm genuinely learning. I have such a fear of sunburn now that, like, I really do. While I was in America, while I was in Spain, even in Spain when it was raining most of the days, I'd still get up every morning and do factor 30. And recently for my sister's graduations, it was really, really sunny days, and even though, I could have just said, nah, I'm not doing it, I decided every single day I'd put on sun cream, and I'm so glad I did, because even though I was in blinding sunlight, I did not get burnt because I actually was sensible and did all the right things. So, small mercies. Nathan Lau says it's his favourite thing about being black. He can get as much sun as he's like, and his skin only gets darker. He's never worn sunscreen once in his life. I am rather jealous of that context. That would save me so much money and so much time, and that kind of sticky feeling you get with sun cream. But there we go. Everyone has their own individual perks. So good job on not getting sunburned. It's a highly, highly unpleasant. If you've never been sunburnt, you don't quite understand when people complain about being sunburnt, how it feels when your entire body is just not right. It's horrible. It's just your skin's tight and it's hot and you can't touch anything, and it's just, you can't sleep, and it's just radiating heat all the time, and then it's itchy, and sunburn is the worst. Sunburn is the worst. Be so thankful if I didn't ever get sunburned. That would be so nice. Anywho, KSJ says, are you required to catch a bun in your open mouth? I was talking about the bun tossing. No, you are not. You do not do that. It's just not a good thing. And I didn't really film any on the beach because it was raining most days. But there we go. That's the end of the video. Oh, yawn. Keep my energy up. Okay. I'm back, and with Cat. More to come. Smiley face. Which was my video just back from Spain. Red Sky Blackbird said, if you haven't watched Critical Role, you need to watch it. I think he was trolling me, because I might mention that all I do is talk about Critical Role. But I love Critical Role. I talk about it way too much. And KSJ says, for such a great back scratch, you get a tail to the face. Nice. Oh, well, that's classic Cats for you. They're dicks. And last, but certainly not least, sorry. Hiccup. We have my World of Warcraft movie review and thoughts. Raymond Smith says that he has heard from people who haven't played the games that it was like watching a foreign film without subtitles. So there's that. While on the other side, Ranger 7 Student says he never played the game, but it didn't really bother him. He was rather surprised because he thought it was going to be awful. So the fact that it wasn't awful by someone who hasn't watched the game, hasn't played the games, that's praise indeed. And also the fact that it's a video game movie that didn't suck. That is out of this world amazing, and actually gives me genuine hope for the future, particularly my main kind of interest and worry in terms of video games movies is the Assassin's Creed movie, because I love those games. I suck at playing them. I have the coordination of a wet fish, but I really loved the story. I loved the visual aesthetic. Like, everything about that game was just all beautiful. So it gives me hope. The World of Warcraft movie being adequate and being true to the story and being visually extraordinary, and actually doing some interesting things with trope kind of changes, but being true to the story and being appreciated by people who haven't played the games. That gives me genuine hope for the Assassin's Creed movie, which is good job, very good job. But it's nice to see conflicting opinions in the comments. You know, talk to each other, guys. Talk to each other. That's what the chat's for. Obi asked the question, has Movie Club Strike Back been cancelled? The thing with Movie Club Strike Back is it wasn't really cancelled. It's been probably well over a year, probably nearly 2 years since there's really been any activity on that front. And it's mostly because we're all on different schedules. Literally, we're all in different time zones. We all have very busy lives. Some of us really want to dedicate ourselves to movies, and some of us want to do other things. And it was just one of those things where, without someone saying, I'm in control of this and I am going to organise you ragtaggle group of people, without someone actually in control, it's almost impossible to actually channel something into a streamlined kind of production, especially when there's no money really involved and there wasn't really any views involved. So you're doing it for the love of reviewing movies, because at that point SourceFed wasn't involved, so we didn't even have that sort of kind of reward system, and without either someone pushing you to do something or a reward system to go towards, you're doing it just for the sake of doing it, and that's a very thin incentive when we're all busy people doing lots of different things with our lives. So it just kind of, it fell to the wayside. I think, you know, all of us tried to keep up with it and all of us kind of just let it slip. So, you know, I'm still friends with a lot of people from Movie Club. They are some of my favourite internet peoples, and it was lovely getting to meet so many of them at VidCon last year, not VidCon just gone, but the year before. But, you know, these things happen, especially within communities. You know, kind of the thing that I found is, the thing with that particular community was none of us wanted to be the leader and none of us wanted there to be a leader. We wanted it all to be a very, you know, for lack of a better word, kind of communal type situation, a very kind of democratic thing. But in order to set up a democracy, you need someone to count the votes, and to organise the voting system and to do the, you know, the kind of fiddly bits in the middle and actually organise people to do the kind of everyone has an equal opinion aspect. And that's an almost nearly impossible thing to do without someone actually taking the role as a leader and no one liking them. So that's what's happened with Movie Club Strikes Back. I mean, it's been a year. It's been well over a year now. So, you know, I think none of us are desperately mourning it. I still miss a lot of the friends that I used to talk to regularly, because of Movie Club Strikes Back and the conversations I used to have with them. But, you know, that's life. Cool. I thought there was someone coming home, but it turns out that's just a cat eating. I would like to get through this last commentary video before people come home. Solace B. So ironic. Okay, finishing up really quickly because people are now home. So Solace B says he really wanted to see the movie but was too lazy because of work and stuff. He played World of Warcraft for a long time, but then life changed, so he wasn't able to play it. But now 8 years later, he's back to playing MMOs. So yay! Joss Trio, I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name, says the story takes place before and during the first Warcraft game, as far as he is aware. I think I've heard the same thing, so I can believe that 100%. Let's see. Surf King says he asked questions about what version of the game did I play when I played. Maybe I misremembered some of the information, or maybe I was in a time when the information was like you could play a 30-day trial. I seem to remember it was definitely a 30-day trial, but I might have been completely misremembering. So there we go. sorry, I can't be more specific. I didn't exactly write a diary back then, so I don't have any documented A to Bs of exactly what I did. To be honest, my friends just helped me set up a game and they're like, you have to play with us, it's going to be so fun. And yeah, then I played a lot, and then I didn't play because I needed to do life things. Anywho, thank you for watching. So that is the end of the comic commentary for now. There will be several more to come as, you know, I go through the other videos that I've recorded. But yeah, that's my first comic commentary back from Spain. Feel free to comment, and I will hopefully talk about you next time I do a comic commentary, or maybe the comic commentary after. We shall see. I don't really know. It's kind of a higgledy-piggledy mess of comic commentaries right now. But yeah. Mostly these videos are so long, I do a secret word of the day. So for those of you who've watched to the end of the video, I'm going to say a magical word of some kind now, which is going to be swan, as in the bird swan. Not as in Bella Swan, because that's stupid, but I can see a matchbox in front of me that's got a picture of a swan on it, so there we go. So if you have watched all the way to the end, then you're insane, but thank you. And feel free to put the word swan somewhere in the comments. You can be as subtle or as unsubtle as you like, and that way I know who is insane enough to watch the end of the video. But thank you for watching, feel free to comment, and I'll see you guys all when I do, I guess. Bye.